Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me. For those of you who don't know, my name is Samson, and in today's video we have an absolute treat for you guys, man. We have the 2014 Camaro Z28. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Camaro Z28 is one of Chevrolet's only one-off type of cars. They only made it for a few model years. This is the 2014 model, so it's one of the rarest ones that you will be able to see. No more than about 500 examples of this car made for the 2014 model. And so in today's video, we're going to go over some of the specs on it, talk about how rare it is, talk about why it's so special, and give you some of the details on this car. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the end. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your feelings on this car, as well as other things you might like to see on the channel. But just like that, let's get into it. Now, like I spoke of earlier, the 2014 Camaro Z28 is completely on its own. It's one of GM's one-off cars, if you will. It's not an upgraded SS. It's not a downgraded ZL1. It is completely on its own. And when it comes to the front fascia, you get a bumper design that is specific to the Z28. Absolutely love how sinister, how wide this car is. You can see you do get HID headlights on the car, as well as Chevy's flow tie. The flow tie is different from the bow tie in the sense that it allows more air to come through this front fascia, through this front grille, in order to help cool the motor, as well as bring air to the intake. You do get your Z28 badge right here front and center, as well as an absolutely massive front splitter. As you guys can see, this splitter does stick out quite a bit from the car. You get like an extra 3 to 4 inches of car in front of you just from the front splitter. The car looks absolutely sinister. Coming up to the hood, you do get a carbon fiber heat extractor for the front of this car. Now guys, when it comes to the Z28, Chevrolet did remove a lot of weight from the base and SS models of the Camaro. For the Z28, I believe it weighs about 300 less pounds than those cars, as well as has more horsepower. And so you do get a very unique setup to the car. Coming around to the side, you can see that the Z28 does have a wider body style on it. You have these extra fender flares that come up over the wheel arches, giving you just a little bit more width on the side. You do have your side markers. However, the owner for this car has done the right thing, went on ahead and blocked out them bad boys to give this car a bit more of a sinister look. Coming down to the tires in the wheel setup, you do get Z28 specific rims on this car. When I say this car is special, guys, this car is special. You do also get carbon ceramic rotors, a two-piece design, meaning that the car has an aluminum hat that bolts to the rotor, allowing for even more weight reduction. You guys may be used to seeing the carbon ceramics only on supercars. However, Chevrolet did bring this technology for the Z28, just showing you just how special this car is. For the tires, you do get 19-inch rims, as well as 325 on the width for the front tires. These massive 6-piston Brembo calipers with the Z28 badge right there front and center. Absolutely love the design of this wheel. Just a little bit more concavity than a lot of the stock wheel setups that you will find on GM's cars. You do get those Goodyear tires, giving you all the stick that you could possibly need. Absolutely beautiful setup for the wheels. Coming to the side, you do get your Z28 badge again right here on the side of the fender. And guys, when it comes to this car, you're rarely going to see these. This is the first one that I believe I have seen and actually been able to interact with in person. You don't see these as much as you see ZL1s. You don't see these as much as you see some supercars like Lamborghini. So this is really one of the rarest cars you will find, especially from Chevrolet. You do have this very nice side skirt that runs the length of the vehicle. A little bit of an indentation right here, just to allow you just a little bit more room to kick your feet out whenever you're trying to get in or out of this vehicle. Coming down to the side, you do have these fake vents. Now these are a design element that I wish Chevrolet would have made functional. I feel like they really could have added to the styling of this car if they had made those functional. You do get your regular door handle as well as very nice mirror caps on the side of the car. Has this very angular setup to them. Most mirror caps will be round. However, GM did decide to give these mirror caps a bit more angles just to allow them to look like they're cutting through the air just that much more. You do get a very nice hood bulge. This hood bulge is not too big. It's not too aggressive and obnoxious. Very nice setup, letting people know that you do have something cooking underneath this hood. Coming around to the back, you can see you do get absolutely massive wide hips on this thing, fitting some absolutely massive tires on the back, which you're going to need to put the power down. You can see that you do get this extra width added to the rear wheel arch of this car by means of this extra extension wide body kit, if you will. Coming to the back, you also get, again, very nice two-piece rotor setup on this car, aluminum along the inside, bolted to this carbon ceramic rotor, again saving weight, giving you the absolute best braking and stopping power that you could hope for. You do get 4 piston Brembo calipers on the back, again with the Z28 logo right there front and center. Absolutely love the simplicity in the color on these calipers. Most calipers I prefer to be a bright color. However, with this black car, with this very sinister look, these gray calipers are absolutely beautiful on it. You do get, again, Z28 rims specific to this car. Again, cutting weight and making the car just that much more special. 19-inch rim on the back, 325 on the width. Would probably expect just a little bit more as far as the width of the tire. Might want to put 355s up here because you're going to need all the grip you can get on this bad boy. Again, Goodyear tires, very sticky, allowing you to come around them corners very quick. Coming around to the back of the car, again, you get another black out side reflector. The owner spec'd this one out absolutely perfect. You can see the added extension right here on the wheel well, giving you just a little bit more poke to allow you to fit wider tires and allow the car to look just that much wider. Love the design element right here. This is a black car, so it's hard to see all of the body lines. However, love the element of design that GM went with on this rear part of the bumper. Coming around to the back, you guys may be used to the Camaros that had the circular tail lights. However, for this model year, GM did decide to go with the tail lights that brought a little bit of homage to the Z28s of old. You can see those absolutely massive wide hips. Very nice design on the tail light. Absolutely love how the rear spoiler on this car is integrated into this rear trunk lid. As you can see, coming around to the side, the spoiler is not overly big. It's not overly obnoxious. Just gives it just a little bit more kick with almost like a gurney flap around the back side of the spoiler, giving you all the styling features that you could want, as well as all the downforce that you may need. You can see this rear fastback kind of look to the vehicle, really gives it a nice appearance. Absolutely love the styling on this car. You can see the rear owner also blacked out. This middle brake light, I cannot commend him enough for the spec that he's done on this vehicle. You can see you do get the Z28 badge, again, front and center on this rear trunk lid. Absolutely beautiful spec. You do get a rear diffuser that comes with this car as well. Wish they would have went with some type of piano black on the rear diffuser. Feel like it would have added to the elegance and sinister nature of this vehicle. You can see that you do get dual quad tip exhaust coming out of the back. Absolutely nice setup. I love how GM decided to go ahead and have a piece of trim go all the way around the exhaust, make it look like it fits right in that area instead of just having like a little cutout that the exhaust hangs out of. The design features on this car are very simplistic and they don't have a whole lot going on. However, it really does add to the uniqueness of this particular vehicle, as well as giving it just the right sinister appearance for what it is. But how about we go take a look under the hood, see that beautiful V8 that GM has put under there, and give you guys some specs and numbers on the Camaro Z28. Greeted by that beautiful carbon fiber heat extractor, you open up this car to be greeted by this absolutely massive LS7 that is a 7-liter engine pushing out stock around 505 horsepower and 481 pound-feet of torque. Now, this engine in particular has been sent off to Texas Speed. You can see it does have an aftermarket intake manifold, as well as aftermarket throttle body and intake air intake system. You do have this strut bar that goes over the top of the engine, allowing for extra bracing and rigidity to improve the handling on this car. You can see you also get MSD coils as well as the plugs to give you the absolute best performance. With this engine, we're looking at a whole lot more horsepower over stock. I was unable to get the specific numbers on it, but guys, I can tell you just from hearing it that this thing rips. You do get a dry sump oiling system with this LS7. That's one of the few one-off things that they did with this engine, is make it dry sump. So the oil tank is right here. The oil isn't pulled up underneath the engine like you would be used to or accustomed to seeing. You do get this engine mated to a 6-speed manual transmission, so you get to roll your own gears in your Z28, having the absolute time of your life. But just like that, guys, to give you one more look at this absolute masterpiece of an engine. Like I said, GM didn't put the LS7 in many cars, only this car and the C6 Z06. Absolutely masterpiece of an engine. But how about we take a look at the inside and give you guys a little sneak peek at what it's like to be rolling around in your Z28. Opening up the door of the Z28, the window does drop whenever you open it because these are frameless doors and windows. You are greeted with this beautiful aluminum Z28 sticker right here on the door seal. Like I mentioned earlier, you do have a side skirt that sticks out a little bit. So when getting in the car, you need to make sure that you are very careful sitting in it. You do have 200 on the dash. Now, these gauge clusters on these older model cars, 2014, although that's not an older model, it is by today's standards, they are very analog. You do get your 2 analog gauges, your speedometer as well as your tachometer. You do get your temperature reading as well as your fuel system management right there. Turning the car on, you can see you do get a digital gauge right there in the center, giving you your odometers. This one right here does have just a little over 24,000 miles on it. You do get your speed readout as well as other functions. Whenever you go into menu, you can go to vehicle information, your oil life, as well as, your tire pressure and various other units. Coming back to the bottom, you do get your sport mode, which you should always be in sport mode in this car. You do also get your traction control off, as well as your touring mode and the cigarette lighter. Now, in some models of the Z28, as well as the SS, you do get performance gauges that are right here that read out things like your transmission temperature, your oil pressure. I wish that this one was optioned with that. However, this vehicle is still well equipped. You do get your tried and true manual transmission wrapped in Alcantara. Absolutely love the materials. You can see it is 6-speed. Love the interior of this car. You do get the suede Alcantara right here on the dash, as well as leather. Everywhere else, you get your climate vents In the center, you do get a very basic radio. Now, GM could have done this for weight savings, or this may have been an option, but you do not get the double DIN radio that you could get, the touchscreen radio that were in some of the GM Camaros. You do get a very, very basic single DIN radio in this car, which is okay because you're going to be listening to the sound of that engine anyway. Coming back to the center, just wanted to show you guys real quick, you do get to see your G-forces on this car. This one offers you a lot more in terms of functionality for this center screen as the Camaro SS does. You get a lot more options to see your performance in this car. You do get your turn signal right here on the side, as well as your cruise control. You also get your windshield wipers right here on this side of the steering wheel, as well as your parking brake. You do get 2 cup holders, as well as a center console, very deep, giving you just the right amount of storage space. You can see you do get your 12-volt cigarette lighter, as well as an auxiliary port on the inside of that center console. Coming to the seats, you do get Recaro seats in the Z28, which you will not get on many other vehicles, period. You do get your Z28 stitching right here embossed on the headrest. These seats are heavily bolstered, keeping you in place with the suede perforated insert in the center of the seat. Absolutely love this seat setup, and I can tell you from sitting in them, they are very comfortable and they do hold you in place. You do get, I wish GM had went with all leather on the door. You do get plastic material right here. Doesn't really add to the interior aesthetic of this vehicle, but you do get very nice leather on the armrest, as well as storage space right here in the door. You get aluminum on the door handle, as well as your power locks and window controls. You do also get Camaro floor mats with this car, specific to the Z28. Wish Chevrolet had went on ahead and added Z28 embossment to the floor mats as well. Would have made everything just a little bit more special. Coming up to the top, you can see you do get a very basic headliner in this car. Nothing too special, nothing too major. You do also get your dome light, as well as your sun visor. Wish this was an LED instead of a halogen bulb. However, it is what it is. In this car, you do have a frameless rearview mirror. You guys know I'm big on the frameless rearview mirrors. I feel like it really adds to the aesthetic of the car, makes it look just that much more new. Coming around to the back, you do get back seats. I'm not sure who you might be able to fit in the back seats. However, you may be able to get a car seat in there, take your little kid around, man, and let him love cars when he gets older. You do get the same treatment for the back seats that you get on the front seats. The same suede insert, perforated suede on the center of the seats, as well as heavy bolstering on both sides. Absolutely love the setup, and these could get you out of a pinch if you do end up needing to carry some extra folks. But guys, that is the inside of this interior. You can see on the steering wheel, you do get the Z28 script right here on the bottom of the steering wheel. Absolutely beautiful setup, giving you just a little bit more customization to your Z28. It is Alcantara wrapped, so you do get nice materials. The only thing I do not like about the Alcantara is that it does wear badly when your hands are on the steering wheel all the time. But other than that, very nice setup to the steering wheel, as well as this dash and the interior as a whole, guys. And just like that, we have wrapped up the review on this 2014 Camaro Z28. Let me know what you guys' favorite feature about this car is. If you like it, look at how pretty this thing sits, man. Just absolutely beautiful car. Let me know if you like it, as well as like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what other vehicles you might like to see on the channel. But just like that, guys, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.